The Slovenian alien Poggi wore the rainbow jersey for the first time today, and for many it's a happy day. And not only because the Saunier Duval team rider has so many fans around the world, but also because, as you can see in the pictures, the rainbow jersey made by Pisse has not been as disappointing as many thought it might be. However, it is again a day of bad news for fans of the sport, continuing this black autumn that has brought us the deaths from various causes of Kevin Pozzo, Muriel Führer, Bas van Belle, and yesterday the Colombian Marlon Perez, a well-known pedalist who was part of such well-known teams as Linda McCartney, Cell Italia and Movistar when it was called Caisse d'Épargne. He'd also been a world junior champion in the track cycling in 1994 and a world champion at paracycling as a guide for Javier Serna in 2017. Of course, he also had his controversies related to doping, the first one for consuming pemolene, an amphetamine that was at the Pan American Championships in Winnipeg in 1999, and for that offence he was banned for 3 months. But then he also had another one practically at the end of his career as a road cyclist, at the age of 37. In 2012, during the Vuelta a Costa Rica, he tested positive along with his teammate in the GW Shimano team, Jonathan Milan, for GW 1516, a mixture of Endurobol and sibutramine. In addition, he's well known in the World Tour for having been the rider who recommended to several European teams the mythical Rigoberto Urán. At 48 years of age, he was killed while walking his dog through the streets of El Carmen del Viboral, the most populous city for cycling in Colombia. And there he was attacked by a man nicknamed El Barbas, the bearded one. He attacked him with a knife, causing a mortal wound. Apparently, both Marlon Perez and El Barbas had been drinking alcohol hours before in a bar in the area, and they'd argued for some unknown reasons which we promised to investigate further. Hours later, El Barbas appeared in the Villa de Azont neighbourhood and ended the life of the mythical Colombian cyclist. Rigoberto Urán could not hold back his tears while he asked the citizens of his country to reflect on these events so that these situations do not happen again. From here, Cycling Highlights can only echo those words and sentiments. And of course, Marlon, we dedicate this video to you. It doesn't matter that you doped, because that does not make you an unperson. That would never justify a murder. We will never forget you. Now, dear viewer, subscribe to this channel, of course, for more cycling content, and also follow us on our personal Twitter, @UncleCycling. And now, yes, let's move on to analyse the Giro dell'Emilia 2024. The Giro dell'Emilia has become, in recent years, the race par excellence to prepare for the final monument of the season, Il Lombardia. Ever since 1999, when the climb to the Basilica of San Luca in Bologna was placed as the key point of the race, when victory went to that lover of ladies of the oldest profession, Michael Bogart, the race has always been decided on this classic ascent. We've seen many dopers win here, from Jan Ullrich to Danilo Di Luca, through Berillo, Davide Rebellin or Gilberto Simoni. It was the place where, in the middle of the Tour de France 2024, both Erskar Zigard's mystical boyfriend and our beloved Danish anchovy, because he's always a Dane, they crushed the climbing record with a stratospheric time of 5 minutes and 27 seconds. But, by way of balance, it's also been the place where the Slovenian alien Poggi has been beaten twice. In 2022, it was the amazing Enric Mas who literally flew in that magical autumn of the Movistar team. And then in 2023, it was his compatriot and skier Primož Roglič. So in 2024, Poggi comes with an air of revenge. Because despite the fatigue that he must be carrying after winning the World Road Race Championships only 6 days earlier, and that with more than 100 kilometres in a breakaway, and with almost 10,000 kilometres of racing in his legs, the insider Mo explained to us that the goal of the alien is going to be to attack from afar once more, perhaps with 2 laps to go on the circuit of San Luca, to leave the peloton shattered. Oh, we'll be watching eagerly to see if that happens, because he's going to have plenty of enemies this time, from the current defender Primož Roglič, who doesn't seem to be in his best form. To the guy who insinuated that Poggy's display in Zurich was not normal, the result of exogenous substances. Focus in Evenepoel. As good friends of Mo, we believe that the alien treated by Javier Solá is going to achieve his first rainbow-clad triumph. But the question is, will he really do it? And more importantly, will he beat the record of the San Luca climb in doing so? Stay until the end of the video to find out. The day's weather was rainy, ideal for a Slovenian alien who loves this typical autumn weather, especially one who was so determined to make a proud debut with that peculiar rainbow jersey, where the name of the United Arab Emirates occupies more than half of the available space. The profile of the classic was typical of recent years, 215 kilometres, with the climbs and descents of San Luca as the key points of the day. Only Benjamin Thomas of the Cofidis team, a winner of a stage in this year's Giro d'Italia, had a pedigree amongst the breakaway riders, as he was surrounded by rookies or riders without victories such as Team Corratec's Panamanian Roberto Carlos González, Spain's Ander Ganzabal of Euskaltel-Euskadi, the local Alessio Martinelli of Bardiani, or the Mexican José Ramón Muñiz of the Petrolike of the legendary Gianni Savio. All these riders built up a lead of almost 7 minutes over the main pack, but it was of no use when the main men of the bunch arrived in San Luca. And there it was Focus in Evenepoel who first tried a move, taking the Slovenian alien and the skier and the gregario of gregarios, Matteo Jorgensen, on his wheel, and it was all to no avail. Without being able to enjoy the spectacle due to bad weather affecting the TV signal, we learned that the world and outer space champion, Poggi, followed a move by Lorenzo Fortunato without any real effort on his part, and then he attacked again, almost 40 kilometres from the finish line, on the first of 5 passes through San Luca, and much earlier than even the insider Mo had told us. It was the umpteenth long-range attack this season by Urska Zigart's boyfriend. He's beginning to bore the sheep with such a predictability and a lack of excitement. Barring misfortune, it was all set for Poggi to win on his first rainbow day, this being his first race outside the World Tour this season, in his 24th victory in a historic year for him. Little by little he was gaining more and more advantage, with the rest of the riders falling back, and we saw the anti-Pogačar Lipovic trying to stop his nemesis, but without any real success. Or there was tiny Tom Pidcock trying to demonstrate to Quebecer that he is worth €3 million for winning only one World Tour race in the season. The display was absolutely aberrant, and by just 5 seconds, Poggi failed to beat his own record on the climb, and this being in bad weather, and only 6 days after being 100 kilometres on the attack in the Worlds. A race where so many experts said he was exhausted, and he could forget about any more racing after eating so many pizzas. The gap then was increasing so much more than 2 minutes, and with just 1 lap to go, they even thought that he might end up overtaking the peloton of favourites in what would have been a historic humiliation by a monster who is so far beyond the reach of anyone, beyond what even hilarious dopers like Marco Pantani in 1999 were able to dream about achieving. He went all in on his laps for 40 kilometres and was faster than the doper Jan Ullrich in 2001. And all this as yet again another doped cyclist passed away. Oh, let's get this over with.